I think what stands out to me as I look at this church is the heart for mission that they have. One of the things that attracted me to this congregation was when I found out that we had people in this church that go to the border of Syria and work with people who are coming out of the war there. We have people who go to Bangladesh and work with the refugees coming out of Bangladesh and Myanmar. We have people that have done veterinary missions in India and in the mountains in the very obscure places in India. And in addition to that, we have a church that agreed to open their doors 3 nights a week to our homeless shelter. So I think that's one of the things that really stands out as the mission and social justice heart that this church has, and certainly attracted me as well.
This church serves our community by, in the past, of having a monthly community meal in the evening, obviously, a dinner, open to everyone, church members as well as the community. For many years, we've had the shelter, overnight shelter for homeless people, and been also the emergency shelter when the temperature got so low that we needed, as a community, town, we needed to shelter people for their safety. Many different organizations feel that they can come and be welcomed here.
Over the last maybe 10 or more years, we're actually 10 or 15 years, we've gone through a lot of changes in this church. We lost a long-time pastor, and we went through an interim time and then another short pastor time. And now we're lucky to have Dan, and we feel like we're on much firmer, permanent ground. And I was part of the committee that started the ball rolling for looking for Dan. We just went through so much soul searching and so much talking and working on issues with one another, and it brought us so much closer together, and it brought us over this really rough time into what I feel like is just, we're cruising now, and we're just going just the way we should be going into the future.
I'm a lifelong member of this church, and recently I've become more active, and one thing that I really like about the Presbyterian Church is that I feel that there's something going on here. I'm not really sure exactly what, but I've gotten involved in the long-range planning, and we're getting ready to look for new avenues for transition and for our future. And every once in a while, I'll be in the community and people will say, there's something going on in that church. And so I feel like there's a little spark, and it's just an exciting place to be.
In modern American society, you don't have an opportunity very often to collect multiple generations in one place. The church as a whole is an important institution because of that. I think it's really crucial that we find venues where multiple generations can get together, and not just there to break bread, but actually to struggle with the things that society is putting in front of us and asking us to deal with.
We are in the process of trying to figure out how to be the church of the future, like every other church is, and trying to figure out what it means to be a church where people don't come through the doors necessarily to find community, because they find community in so many other places in so many other ways. So our challenge is trying to figure out how to be the church today and tomorrow, and that means doing some things out of the box, and that's a challenge because I was born in the Presbyterian church, basically. I think my mom brought me in after 2 weeks, and I've been here ever since. So I know the systems and the worship services and the Presbyterian, all of that, and I don't think people in their 20s and 30s care about that anymore. So it's the biggest challenge that we have, and we're trying, just like everybody else is. So.